Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a very special unboxing for you. This is an unboxing, not a review or video impressions, but I wanted to jump right into this. I believe this is from the Apex Pass-Around group, which means that an awesome manufacturer supplied a knife to us for us to take a look at, and I want to thank them as soon as I can get into the box. So today I'm opening up my box with my McNeese Mac 2. This is the 3.5 Auto in black aluminum handles. Love this knife. Beautiful hollow grind if you get a chance to get a hold of this. I'm opening it backwards because I am out of stickers to cover up the name. So let's go ahead and get right into this, okay? All right. Let's see if we can get into this without revealing any personal information. Oh, we got some peanuts, definitely, for sure. Okay, here we go. Let's look at that. What do we have in here? Oh, I think it's a Benchmade. Let's see, do we have any information in here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got stickers, it looks like, from some of the other reviewers, which is always really cool. And I always hope there's a few extras so that I can maybe get one. All right, so this is DSKFS. I'm not sure I know that one, so I'm gonna have to look that one up. Very cool. And then we got Zach stuff. I do like Zach stuff. He is a big time Benchmade guy, and really, if you want to talk about probably someone you want to ask about Benchmade question, this is the guy to go to. Very, very cool. I'm gonna put these off to the side. So what are we looking at? Ooh, the full immunity. This is one of the black series, which is Everyday Tactical CPM. Ooh, M4 steel. Nice. It's a manual open. I believe there's a version of this that's automatic as well, but this is the manual one. So tactical means it's more of it's going to be a little more robust kind of thing. It's an everyday type of carry. And M4 is a great steel. Really tough, hard steel, really great to work with. Oh, got a few peanuts in there just to keep things from moving around, which is very nice. I'm going to put these off to the side as well. All right, and typical with any sort of Benchmade, you get the little sticker in there, which is their little kind of use and care thing, if you didn't know about that, that comes with it. And then you get a nice little Benchmade kind of bag. I've had several Benchmades. That was some of the first knives I collected. Really like those. And, oh, here we go. Oh, yep. All right, so what it does come with is this little sticker. It always says Axis Lock for it, which is very cool. We're gonna put this off to the side so we can take a look at the knife. Let's get this out of the camera so it doesn't focus. All right, so this little guy is let's look at this again. It's the full immunity, all right? Black class. This is the 29BK02. Beautiful green. I like this color green. That's kind of a really nice green. Very cool. All right, so let's see. All right, oops. Let's get it flicking. Oops, sorry. All right, so this is brand new, unbroken in directly from the manufacturer. I think I might be the first one looking at this. So this has not even had a chance to be broken in yet, which means it's probably gonna still, the phosphor bronze washers that are in there probably have a little oxidation on there. So I'm gonna have to do a little carry to get that action going in. So there we go. So if I work it, you can see it starts to open up, but it's a small blade, so you really got to get in there. You know, it's not ready flicky yet, but it does have a lanyard hole, which is interesting. So for those of you guys who love lanyards, very cool. It's included with it. I'm not necessarily a big lanyard guy. The cool thing is, if you needed to, this is one of those lanyards that's very easy, and I'm going to show you. You can take it right off and we can put it right back, right? So we'll put this back before we send this out to some of the other awesome knife reviewers. But I just want to show you, in case you're not a lanyard fan, you don't have to cut it off. You can just take it off very easy, and it's very easy to put back. So don't damage to save that, because if you ever sell your knife or give it away, you might want that for the next person, all right? So for me now, it's a little easier to work with. Yeah, I'm not quite getting the drop shut action yet. I mean, I have to really kind of flick it hard to get it in there because it's so brand new. And yeah, the centering's off a little bit. So let's see, do we have a little blade rock? No, not quite. You know, it's unfortunate. It is a little off center. I wish I could fix that. I don't know if I can. This is part of the pass around group, so the Apex group. So I think the Benchmade would give this to us to allow us to take a look at this. It's either Benchmade or I believe it's Zach. I don't know if Zach bought this and then he allowed our group to use it. So thank you, Zach, if you did. I don't know if Benchmade gave it to you, Zach, for us to take a look at it. And if they did, thank you, Zach, for getting Benchmates to let us take a look at it. So thank you, Benchmade. So I'm going to thank everybody. Either way, I'm very grateful to get a chance to look at this. Now, I just want to be real clear. I'm not going to take this apart. I'm not going to tune it. Typically what I do with my Benchmades, which I love, I will take them apart. I'll polish the phosphor bronze washers. So what I do is I take it apart. The phosphor bronze washers usually have a little oxidation. I'll polish them. I'll polish the blade where it connects, because in case there's some particles on there, sometimes there could be dirt in there. And then I'll center the blade. And there's a really easy trick to centering a blade. I won't do it with this one, but just to show you. If your blade is centered, what you do is you typically tighten the scales, unscrew the scale screws, and then unscrew the pivot screw. You put something in here to push it over. And typically, I thought I had a piece of paper over here. Yeah. So this is I use this piece of paper to straighten knives out all the time. I'll bend it over as much as I need to and put it in here in the side, right? It'll go in here. So let me do a very thin version of it. So it'll go in here like this, and it'll push the blade over. Then what I do is I tighten the pivot first, really, really tight. And then I tighten the base, the rest of the scales. Then I take it out, and then I loosen up now it's which side I need to go on, right? If I need to go this way, I'll put it on the right side. If I need to go this way, I'll put it on the left side. Then I'll loosen, and I'll loosen usually very, very center. And so that would be very easy to do this, but this is not my knife. It's one of the pass around, so I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm just going to get a chance to feel it. But I know how Benchmade works, right? I know that this is very easy to tune. It's very easy to get nice and buttery smooth, but I'm getting an experience of the blade. I'm getting experience of the size. So this is definitely, so we look at this. This is I have medium to medium large hands. So my hands are large this way, medium lengthwise. All right, so for large hands, this I get full 3 fingers. I got some jimping up here, which is nice, and the 4th finger catches on this little angled part out here, so it does get a little place for a good presentation. So for a very compact small knife, I still really get some good presentation. I like the reverse tanto. I would call this a reverse tanto blade. That's what I would see it as. I mean, typically tanto is going to be a little straighter, but you know, to me it's a reverse tanto. I wouldn't call this a Wharncliffe. I love the jimping. It's not super crazy aggressive, but it's definitely their M4 steel. It has a beautiful Cerakote on there. I believe that's Cerakote. Let's see, does it say? No, yeah. So, and the blade steel M4 definitely nicely right there. And that's a CPM steel. That's crucible metal. So it's CPM M4 steel, which is a really nice variant of their steel. Okay, so really cool, really cool. Now this is an axis lock, which other places, Benchmade came up with the axis lock. That was their first thing. They patented it, and the patent ran out. So then you have Hogue, who has Able lock. You have other people who call it crossbar lock. Other people call it whatever cool, catchy name they want to call it, but it's their variant of the axis lock. It has an Omega spring. It has a crossbar that goes across, that the Omega spring pushes in to lock the blade in place. You release it, the blade drops, and then there's a little part in here in the base of the screw, in the base of the knife, the tang of the blade. It's not really, the tang is going to be this rounded part right here, okay? So we're at the top of the tang for it to lock, and then we're at the bottom of the tang to hold it in. You'll notice that tang. So see, I'm going to go in just ever so slightly, just super slowly, and you'll see how that axis lock will pull it in. A lot like a detent, right? And you can see this part loosens up and then closes like that. It closes right on there. So that's really nice. Now, if I sat here and I fidgeted with this for about an hour, well, you would probably get pretty good action out of this, right? But I don't have an hour just to fidget with a little itty-bitty knife like this. But I wanted to get an experience of it. I really like the aluminum textured handles. That is a really nice touch. This is a beautiful diamond pattern on here, and it's a nice pattern where you get some grip, but it's not so aggressive it's going to rip your pants up. This reminds me a lot of the Pulsar. The Pulsar from Kunlun Knives. I really like that one, and I enjoy that. And that's also an crossbar lock too, but it's a little different, right? And that's a much bigger knife, and it has a much bigger blade. But this is like a little compact, kind of tactical little one that you could use out there for personal, you know, cutting things. You need to cut open a box. You need to cut some apples. You need to get in some dog food, cat food, mulch. You know, some fertilizer for your yard. This is a great little knife, and what I like about it, it's got the deep pocket carry clip. Now, it's not going to be completely hidden. It's going to have a little tip there at the end, so you definitely have a little tip. It's going to be about yay deep, which is not bad. I'm going to move the lanyard over here for now so the camera doesn't focus on it. So about yay deep, right? You definitely see the lanyard, but it's not prioritized. It's off to the side. It's got steel liners, so this is aluminum scales, and I assume these are steel liners. Let's double check. Yep, steel liners, right? So that's cool. And I do like the Cerakote. I think it's a Cerakote. I don't know. I think it's a Cerakote, but it's really nice. I don't know what this feels like. A very aggressive kind of a abrasive sort of a coat on here. It reminds me a little of the one that was on my Adamas. I had an Adamas. I had Adamas and Adamas Mini. Loved it with crew wear. It's just I got rid of a lot of knives at one point, and looking back on it, I really need to add an Adamas back to my collection because I really like the Adamas. That was one of those fun knives. I'm kind of hoping I can find a carbon fiber variant of that one. That's the one I really would like to get, but I'm gonna add one back. So anyways, this scale, or this finish on top of the blade, the M4 blade, reminds me a lot of that. Now it's pretty sharp, so you can definitely, if you're out in the woods, you can start some, like if you have a Ferris rod, you can definitely start a fire with it for sure. The blade is crazy, crazy sharp, and it's a pretty nice even edge. Let's see, yeah, okay, well, it's not bad for an edge. I mean, this is a small blade to sharpen, but you can see it's a little longer here and it's a little shorter here lengthwise of the edge. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little longer here, a little shorter here. Not much, but a fairly consistent blade. So that means it's going to be really consistent even across there, which makes it really nice. Let's see. Yeah, no, it hasn't quite loosened up here yet. We're not supposed to do anything about this, but if the pivot is loose, I can definitely try to maybe ever so slightly tighten that, just see if that'll bring it nice and centered. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, just a real gentle, to see if we can. Okay, so it's a cap. Oh, by the way, it's a captive pivot. Do you see that? That's actually a nice little touch for Benchmade. You see that little pivot there? The captive, it's kind of a cool little touch. I think that's neat. That is definitely a little aesthetic I wasn't expecting. All right, so. All right, made it a little bit better. Oh, let me get that out of the way. Oh, it keeps wanting to get back on the TV there. All right. Yeah, oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Let's make sure, do we still? And that's a little blade rock, so that's why Zach may have already tightened this one up. So if he did, I'm gonna go back just a little touch. Let's see. Come on. All right, it's not loose now. Let's see, do we still have the centering? All right, I want to see, is it loose? Yeah, it's still loose. Okay, so he tightened this up just so it wouldn't be loose. I want to get it just so that it's nice and centered, which, okay, there we are. So it's nice and centered now. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, definitely centered. Do we still have, do we have, that's close to the drop shut. So that's about it. So typically what I would do, I think he tightened it up because it was really loose, but unfortunately that didn't take off the centering. You can see, but now it's centered. I loosened it ever so slightly because I thought if when I first attempted to tighten it, I thought maybe it was loose, but it wasn't. It wasn't going to move at all. So then I reversed just a little bit. It was enough to get it just loose enough where you can now drop shut it. You see that? So let's see. Now the problem with doing something like that, I didn't put in the Loctite, and I'm not going to take it apart and put Loctite in there because it's not my knife, and we're not supposed to do that, and I don't want to change the experience for anybody else. But typically I'd put a little Loctite to kind of hold it there where I don't have any blade rock, which is what I'm looking for, and I have just a nice action. And this, okay, so now this is just really crazy enjoyable. So this is what you're supposed to be able to do. I don't know, it may have been over tightened for travel because, you know, when you ship it, it could shake a little bit and vibration could loosen things up. And so maybe it came in loose and so it was tightened up when it was shipped out. So anyways, very, very cool. I do like seeing, this is what I like about Axis Lock. It has that beautiful drop shut, and this makes it super, super convenient when you carry it around like that. So I think that's really nice. All right, very, very cool. Definitely a flat grind here, all the way up to about right here is flat, and then it flattens. This is kind of a parallel to both sides, right? It's no longer an angle coming up, and but it comes to a pretty thin edge, I will tell you that, and you can see that here in the tip. Got a nice pokey tip. Definitely get into your boxes, get into your envelopes. I mean, this is a great little envelope opener for sure. I love the color on this. This green is really kind of sick. Reminds me of like a hunter green or something like that. Really kind of neat. And I liked all the blacked out hardware. Got two standoffs here in the back. Really secure. Feels really solid. It's got some nice weight to it, but not too light. Definitely this little part works really well for my large width-wise handles. So I think large to extra large hands you might be getting close to where you can't quite get your finger over there. Double extra large for sure. But I think large and extra large hands, you can definitely get the 3 fingers on there. So this is the intended. To me, I look at this like as a 5th pocket knife. If I was carrying a much larger knife, like if I was carrying my typically when I carry something like this, my McNeese, this is going to be an expensive knife, so I typically will carry a 5th pocket knife if I go somewhere. And this could be a nice little complement 5th pocket knife, I think. I like that idea a lot. I think that's really cool. All right, so this is just an unboxing impressions. We're just taking a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and put the lanyard back on since we're done. And that's really it. We'll do a review here and wrap it up, but really cool knife. Benchmade did really well. I don't know the price or anything like this on there. I'll definitely post some links for it, and you can take a look, but really cool little knife. My first impression is not negative at all. Once I loosened that, oh, yeah, see, and I think that's why he tightened it. I can already see it probably loosened up a little bit more as I'm using it. Yeah, it did. And I can't put any Loctite in there. I wish I could, because now it's back to where it needs to be, right? Yeah, so you see now we're back dead center, and it just kind of keeps loosening up. And I'm sure that's why I got over tightened a little bit, and which caused it to shift over, and then made it have like no action. But the fix for that is take the screw out, put a little Loctite on there, and boom, you're set. And well, what you do is you put the Loctite on, you let it sit for at least an hour or two, right? Let the Loctite dry in there, it dries anaerobically, right? And then it'll keep that screw in place and won't allow it to move, okay? And that'll keep it solid in there, and then you won't see it moving back and forth like it's been doing a little bit here, which is typical. All knives do that. I have Loctite, probably there's Loctite on these screws there. I know there's Loctite on these screws. I've put it on here. Every one of my knives I've disassembled, I put Loctite on. Matter of fact, here's a Loctite that I normally would use, my Loctite 242, great stuff. I won't use it on this knife because this is from Benchmade or Zach to allow us to get a chance to experience the Benchmade. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get a nice close-up so you all can see this. You can see that beautiful texture. You can see the nice standoff in the back. The deep pocket carry clip. Now I wish the screws were a little recessed. It will get in the way, but they're rounded, so it shouldn't. I like Benchmade's clips, don't get me wrong. They're really nice. Got a nice little swoopy curve right there. Now this is, yeah, it's a steel clip, aluminum there, aluminum inserts. So, and then you can see the back side right here with the axis lock and the screws. Really nice. And I think these are T6, and T8s. So a lot of T6s on this, which I wish it was T8s. It would be nice. All right, so let's open this up and let's take a look at the blade here. And you can see the hand. Ooh, let's get the focus on there. See the focus with the little butterfly, the Benchmade butterfly there, which is really nice. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. I want to make sure you guys can get a nice look. And let's look at the back here. Take a quick look at the blade. You can see that M4 with that beautiful coat that's on there. I've got to look up what that coat is, but it's really nice. Okay. Very cool. All right, so that's it. That's that is the Benchmade. I want to make sure full immunity. Full immunity. This is the non-auto. This is the manual. I believe there's an auto version of this, which is kind of cool too. And what you do is you flick that, and it automatically opens up. And usually there's a lock for the auto back there, because I've had autos before from Benchmade, and they use the axis lock, but there'll be a lock up there. Really cool. All right, so that is the knife right there. If you guys enjoyed this video, you found it interesting, informative, just generally good stuff, or you smiled or whatever, anything, would you consider hitting the like button down below? If you've hit the like button already, would you consider hitting the subscribe button? And if you've done both, I want to thank you, because it really helps out the channel to grow, for me to be able to produce more content, do more things, and really, in the end, do more things for you guys. So I appreciate that. And if you've done all that, maybe consider hitting the notification button so you can be notified of future content. And if you've done all of that already, maybe check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.